Steam. A digital game distribution platform that manages to draw out massive amounts of pocket money from absolutely everyone. Even little Timmy. And myself. Today we will take a few of the games I acquired over the years and put them in the tier list. From the absolute garbage trash D tier to the heavenly amazing godlike S tier. Of course, the tier list will be a definite representation of the cumulative mind of 120 million Steam users and cannot be argued with. So then, let us begin. First up, we have gacha games. If you don't know what they are, you are living a happy and fulfilled life and do not need to find out. The worst part about them is the incredible low price, which makes it much easier for your quote-unquote friends to give them to you as a gift which they definitely want. Definitely! So yeah, I got 5 of these games and will show them to you now. No, sorry, I can't fucking do this. We're skipping this one. We're skipping this one. We completely skipped this one. D tier. Next up, we have Gachi Revenge, where you play as the sex symbol Ricardo Milos and beat up the gays, homophobes. I'm not sure. Didn't I already fucking tell you that I cannot do this anymore? I'm not doing, I quit. No, this is not okay. Nope. Okay, anyway, next up we have Gachi Run, running off the slaves? Slaves. No, we're not doing this. No. Fuck you. Okay, we're almost at the end with the gacha games. Fortunately. Next up we have Gachi Bird. And it's Gay Flappy Bird. I don't know why they would make Gay Flappy Bird. I don't know how they would make Gay Flappy Bird. But they did make Gay Flappy Bird. And now it is in my Steam library. Forever! D tier. Huh? Okay, finally at the end of the Gachi series, we have Gachi Heroes. It is a simple clicker game, where you click on the asses of individuals such as, but not limited to, Adolf Hitler. I'm ashamed to say that I have successfully beaten the game, got all achievements, every item, every slave, every skill of the skill tree, and gotten into the negative ranks, which automatically makes me the absolute gamer. D tier. Okay, now that we're done with the Gachi series, let's go into something much worse. Gay Bird and Boy Next Door. I feel yet again the need to mention that I did not buy these games myself. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing, but I'm pretty sure that it's highly illegal. Summary: fuck these games. Russia-phobia, a game about the great leaders of Russia that committed a full total of 0 war crimes. As you can see, we have them all: Joseph Stalin, Vladimir Putin, Bill Gates, Elon Musk. Okay. The gameplay consists of gathering literal feces while running away from angry Russians and whatever the fuck these things are. And this is Vladimir Putin deepfaked into Ricardo Milos. Vladimir Milos. Last but not least, did you ever dream about being a toilet manager? No? then oh boy do I have the game for you. Wait, no. In Toilet Management Simulator, you manage a public toilet because everyone has the shit, right? The end goal of the game is to go on vacations with your friends. The problem is that you don't have any friends because you're a fucking public toilet manager. So of course, what is the only reasonable solution for that problem? You call prostitutes. What the fuck? D-tier. Okay, but now we're finally done with D-tier. If at any point you thought, wait, actually, this game looks kinda interesting, you're a bad human being. You're a bad human being and you should feel bad. You know what? I don't even want these games on my tier list. Okay, now we have a bit more space for at least slightly better games. Our first game for C tier is the Red Strings Club. In this game you play as the barkeeper of the club and gather information about a supposedly evil company that wants to screw around with the human mind. You can mix drinks in a very special way that brings out the feelings of the customer and makes it much easier to gather the informations you want, which leads to different choices that you can choose from. The problem that I have with the game is that your choices don't matter whatsoever. Not even the way you mix the drinks really matters. You get a slightly different response from the customers, but you will always reach the exact same end no matter what informations you have or don't have. Although in my opinion a much bigger problem is this shit-ass robot over here. Somewhere around the end of the game the robot asks you about your opinion on different trolley-esque problems. You know, the kind of questions that go like,
"Oh no, the trolley is out of control. Would you rather kill the baby or its parents? But wait, without the parents, the baby would die anyways, but maybe the parents would kill themselves without the baby?" This got darker than it had to be.
Most of those end up being yes or no questions, but then there's this one. Should women stay oppressed? Yes, no, and women aren't oppressed nowadays. Yes! Yes! An answer that makes a lot of sense in this context. Woohoo! I'm sure the game devs won't push their own opinion on the real world inside of the game world, right? No, that would be ridiculous. No way the devs would do that. But the game devs did that. But the game devs did exactly that. Okay, now just a bit of context to add on why women aren't oppressed nowadays is a very reasonable choice to take. First of all, you're playing the barkeeper. Because of some sort of illness, the barkeeper is physically unable to leave the bar. Therefore, he only has experiences with customers that come to the bar. Now, every single woman that came to this bar has an incredible job. You have the chief operations officer, the consultant engineer, the corporate lawyer, marketing director, and even the CEO of the company is a woman. Those are the only women that the barkeeper sees, but all of a sudden, this all-knowing AI calls you stupid for thinking that women aren't oppressed anymore. But yeah, okay, C tier. Yay! Next game on the list is Galactic Mining Corps. You are a member of an organization that digs through planets and collects their money, materials, and cores. Exploring the maps lets you find new upgrades that make progress easier and faster. Now, I played the game for quite a long time. I kept digging, just hoping for something to happen. Just something that would make the game more fun, but that didn't happen. I mean Jesus! I played this game for 15 hours and nothing happened. It was the exact same thing all the time. How the fuck did I keep playing for so long? It was a bad experience. Anyway, C tier. For our final game of this tier we have The Beginner's Guide. The gameplay consists of you walking around inside of different game worlds while the narrator talks about their creator, Coda. And that's pretty much all there is to it. You walk, you look at the world, and you listen to the narrator. It fucking sucks. Now you might wonder why I would even buy a game like this. It's beautiful words maybe, or the story? No, the reason is actually a lot dumber. The game was made by the creator of the Stanley Parable, and oh boy, the game is good. It has a great narrator with great lines, 100,000 different choices you can take, and this flowchart. I mean, come on, look at this flowchart. I don't even know what's going on, and I played the game, and this is only for the first part. The second part is at least double that. What the actual fuck? Now you might wonder what the Beginner's Guide flowchart looks like, since it was made by the same guy, right? Well, I couldn't really find something on the internet, because, I don't know, but I'm gonna do it myself, you know. I'm just gonna show you all the endings with the flowchart thingy, and so let's start with the first one, and we start at the beginning, of course, and we end at the ending. And now we draw all the lines in between, and now we delete all the lines that are lied about to trick you, and we're done. That's it. It's fucked. C tier. And now I present to you... Which means we're finally at the games that are fun to play for me. Not just garbage, not just hot garbage anymore. I fucking hated these games. God damn it. Our first game here is
Geometry.
Arena. It has all the
Geometry.
We got circle with an X, circle with a plus, circle with a star. Swords. Gotta get back to you on that one. 2 diamonds, 3 triangles, 2 triangles, a star. Half round, half square. A crosshair. From like a gun? What? Why? 4 rectangles, and I'm not sure what this shape is.
Geometry.
The concept of the game is very simple. You pick a class, you start the game, you fight,
Geometry.
and buy upgrades in the shop to make it easier to fight.
Geometry.
This can be escalated to a whole new level of
Geometry.
and soon your screen will look something like this. This is 5 minutes into the run, by the way. While it's incredibly satisfying to get a run like this, it's also the only thing you can do when you're trying to go for the endgame here. At some point it doesn't even matter what you buy in the shop because you can just spam buy everything and still win. Nevertheless, I still really like this game and enjoyed playing it. B tier. Fuck, no, oh no, please not again. No, not an update. Last time it took 10 hours. No, why? Next game, Kingsway, the best operating system for your adventure. The game is a roguelike RPG in which you go on a quest to save the kingdom. The gameplay revolves around a desktop setting, which makes especially the combat interesting, innovative, and fun. This is me fighting a boss that can spawn in enemies, which requires you to quickly multitask between all of them, which obviously was the problem for me. Everything you do in combat has a timer, which makes for very fast-paced battles. Screw up once and it may result in you losing a lot of health, which you cannot regenerate easily, therefore it might already be a lost run. Also, this game features a whole lot of unique classes, with each changing up the way you play by a lot. Anyway, B tier. Next up we have Heat Signature. You play as a contractor who accepts a variety of contracts with the goal of liberating the galaxy. The game has a ton of gadgets that let you play however you want. And it also features a pause menu, so I don't have to worry about thinking quickly. Which is very good for me. In this game you may clear out an entire ship by yourself. Get beaten up but not killed by a group that just really likes to bully you. Blast enemies the fuck out of their own ship. Oh my god, is that a bomb? Wait, no, I have children. Or go full pacifist by running by your enemies at Mach 5 speeds, get the keycard, steal the object of interest before yeeting out of the window right into your own remote-controlled spaceship. And those are just a few of the hundreds of ways you can play the game. Great game. B tier. And now, let's enter the Gungeon. See what I did there? Enter the Gungeon is a bullet hell dungeon crawler roguelike. You choose your character, enter the Gungeon, and shoot down just about everything that you can find. You find your way through a big variety of enemies, like the big shotgun clip, or the gunslinger mimic, who is really bad. Fuck! Die! Yeah! And of course, there's also bosses that you need to kill in order to progress. Like this guy. Jesus, fuck! Also, don't piss off this guy. B tier. Our final title for B tier is Bloody Trapland. Bloody Trapland is an incredibly difficult jump and run platformer that will make your blood boil. Literally, right here, in the magma. Fuck! The general purpose of the game is obviously pretty simple. You go from here to here. There are 6 worlds in this game, with each world being a lot harder than the previous one. This makes you lose your sanity increasingly faster, especially on these fireballs. I don't know why these are in the game, they are unpredictable and incredibly hard to dodge. I hate them. Nevertheless, the game was still fun to play through even if you die in the same place for the 78th fucking time! B tier. A tier. Crazy. From here on out, it's of course only games that I played a ton and would recommend to everyone. So let's start with Dead Cells. Dead Cells is yet another roguelike in which you fight through hordes of enemies while constantly upgrading and finding new weapons. Each run, as with most roguelikes, makes the next one easier and adds even more variety to it. For me, the best part about this game is the fast pace at which you do anything really. There's just something really satisfying about defeating your enemies at Mark 5 speeds while destroying your keyboard. Of course, the game is also pretty difficult, so you can't just run through every level without getting the upgrades and expect to get to the final boss. But of course, the insane pacing allows for swift travel through the entire level and lets you get all the upgrades very quickly without getting boring or stopping you from pressing all the buttons. Definite A tier. Love it. Hopping into the next game, we have Slay the Spire, yet another roguelike but with a twist. It's a card game. Who the fuck are you talking to? Of course, it's not just any boring card game, it's a deck builder card battler, which I'm pretty sure is a genre that was invented by Slay the Spire. Don't quote me on that though. You can choose one of 4 classes who all have a completely different way of playing the game. One of those classes is the Ironclad. What the fuck is an Ironclad? No, seriously, I have no idea what the fuck an Ironclad is. We just call him Knight. It's a Knight. It's a fucking Knight. He has a sword. It's a Knight. Just with the Knight alone, you already have a lot of different builds that you can play, like the spam build, where you just spam a lot of cards because they cost almost nothing, or nothing. Or the just play this card and win build, where you play the card and win. Might be a little bit broken if I'm honest with you. Of course, there's a lot of other things that you can do and build, and that's what makes the game so fun. A tier. And yes, of course, yet another roguelike, but also the final one for this tier list, Risk of Rain. Risk of Rain was one of the first roguelike games that I picked up and made me fall absolutely in love with the genre. You play as one of many characters, including, but not limited to, the basic guy with a sniper, girl with a bow, a reptile. And a chef, like, what? Like a cook? A guy who cooks food? What? You know, it's just a cook. Who thought of this class? As with every roguelike, the start is a bit slow, but once you ride up some of those juicy items, you just massacre your enemies. It's a lot of fun. So yeah, A tier for our final roguelike game. Never mind, because I actually want to talk about one more game. That game is called Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain 2 is the exact same as the first one, but this time in a 3D world. You still have the same classes, you still have the same items, but this time if you get a build going, you get it going in 3 dimensions, and holy shit, you feel those 3 dimensions. Just running around and looking at the world is fun, even though you don't get to see much of it if there's 75,000 things happening at the same time. Anyways, A tier for both of these games. And finally, something chill. Stardew Valley. Isn't it nice? Just watering plants. That's nice. Farming your crops. So chill. Fishing. Nothing calms me down more. Getting into relationships with people you don't actually like just so you can use them as tools on your quest to expand your farm empire. What? Pet your dog, okay? Figure out the mysteries of the warehouse. What was said before about using people as Stardew Valley has it all. A tier. No, seriously, we need to talk about what you meant by using people as tools. S tier! But before we get into that, some honorable mentions. All of these games are amazing games that are almost good enough for S tier, but also not quite, so I wanted to honorably mention them. So yeah. Honorable mentions. Dyson Sphere Program. A great mix between Factorio and Satisfactory. Monster Train. A train with monsters. Valheim. Vikings. And bathtubs. Ori and the Blind Forest. Oh god, why did you do this to me? Skyrim. Released on your calculator. The Final Station. Just a game about trains, right? Right? Divinity Original Sin 2. D&D in a video game. Dark Souls 3. Pain. Aground. I know it's a weird looking game, but it's pretty good. Roguelands. One of the best roguelike games. Undertale. Depression. Omori. Worst Depression. Okay, that should be just about everything. Let's start with S tier. Factorio. A game that I have 189 hours in and still haven't finished it. 189 hours. Motherfucker! fuck? The primary goal of Factorio is
Expansion.
which you accomplish by committing increasingly more gruesome genocide on the native inhabitants of the planet that you're stranded on.
Hey, insect neighbor, I have great news. You just won the lottery. Yeah, no problem. Bye.
The secondary goal of the game is to actually finish the game by escaping the planet. That goal is one hell of a bitch to accomplish though, which is why after 189 hours, let that sink in for a minute, I still couldn't do it. I tried it on 4 different saves. The first save is a big piece of shit, the second one is also a big piece of shit, the third one is a bit better, and the latest save actually looks great. I had a big production, every science, roboport, and a single train station with a single train because I could not be bothered to try and understand how they work. So as you can see, I'm actually on the right path this time to finishing the game. Except that I don't understand how to effectively use oil. What the fuck is this resource? It clogs up my entire production and makes me question life! I have produced enough rocket fuel to escape the galaxy twice and can't do anything with it. All of these are full. Ah! Anyway, great game, love it S tier, but fuck oil. Oh, wait a minute, what's that? What's that I'm hearing in the background there? Is that a fucking montage I'm hearing there? Woo! I mean, honestly, I don't even know what else to tell you about Katana Zero. It's just a great game. It's just a fucking amazing game. Go and buy the game. Come on, buy the game. It's great. S tier. And for our final game of this tier list, we have Terraria. And in case you've never seen, heard about, or touched the game, I will describe to you what just about every new player experiences when first starting Terraria. You start in the middle of the world with only a few tools and gather the closest resource. Maybe you even start building a bit. Then you start exploring. And find your first chest. Wow! Now you have a better weapon, or maybe your first accessory, which gives you a neat little new ability. Oh! Now you continue exploring and end up finding a fortress. Oh! You talk to the guy at the entrance and he tells you to come back at night. You don't pay attention. Haha! This was a mistake. Ha! You come back at night. Okay. It also was a mistake. Ha! You decide that it's time to start building your house. And NPCs start joining your settlement.
Oh, hello.
Now you have access to bombs and dynamite.
Nice.
With the bombs you now start exploring further, because it's easier and faster. You end up discovering hell, kill a few enemies and drop a weird puppet into the lava. You die! A lot. You decide that it might be easier to defeat this guy after defeating this guy. So you start grinding. Finally, you go back to Skeleton and defeat him. Woohoo! Which means you can finally loot the dungeon. Ooh. And at last you use your newly found power to defeat the end boss. Woohoo! Of the normal mode. Introducing hard mode. New bosses, new biomes, new enemies, new NPCs, new weapons and equipment. Basically another 60 hours worth of playtime. And if that still wasn't enough, you can always replay the game in expert mode or master mode, both of which add new challenges and exclusive items to the game. And if that still wasn't enough, the modding community got your back. 50 new bosses, new classes, weapons, equipment, and even an exclusive playlist with songs that are at least as good as the original Terraria soundtracks. All of that in just a single mod pack. So yeah, that is absolutely S tier for Terraria, our final game of this tier list. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing. Or I will burn your house down. Oh yeah, and before I forget, my favorite game wasn't even on this tier list. It's called DD Race Network on Steam. It's also known as T-Birds. I figured that a simple clip of the game wouldn't do it just, so I probably end up making a full video on it some other time. But that's it for now. For real. Bye!